the little Lupo has been for retest and we've passed. Yes. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be working on the Japanese imported Lupo GTI project of mine. Just a couple of little bits today. First of all, well, one of the jobs we're going to be doing is trying to fit this Chinese double DIN radio that I've got. Cheap and cheerful, just to get us going. It's got no stereo in it, so it's got a hole for a double DIN, but it's more complicated than it looks. And then the other thing we're going to be sorting out is the back end of this Lupo. It's not really to my styling. I don't know whose it is, but someone obviously loved it. Basically, it's had a wiper delete there, which is pretty obvious, so we're going to sort that out. And this Lupo lettering, yeah, let's get rid of that and clean it right up. Just going through the paperwork now to send off the registrations. Just want to show you what we've got to send basically quickly. So we've got form for the DVLA for the registration with all the details on, and a cheque for tax and a cheque for the registration fee of £55. Didn't know whether to do them as one cheque or two, so I've done them separately just in case, just to try and save any confusion with the DVLA. Photocopy of my driving licence, the MOT, an insurance for covering it on the chassis number, my Nova certificate, export certificate, and well, I think that's classed as the registration from Japan. And then I've also got an invoice, and for when I picked it up, just as extra info, so hopefully they can't argue with anything. And then envelope to send it there, and then you have to, if you want it special delivery back, send another prepaid envelope there as well. So hopefully we've covered all bases. I'm going to pop down the post office with it now and get it sent off, and hopefully it doesn't take 6 weeks, but they like to drag their time out. Oh, I did forget to say, the form that you fill out if the car isn't new is a V55/5, and there's a few guides online on what you do and don't need to fill out. I'm not going to show you what I've filled out because I might not be right, but if it comes back correct, we'll review back and I'll show you what I filled out to make it work. I might have got a little bit carried away, so yeah, thought while I was in here I'd have a quick look and see if I get rid of some of the Japanese additions we no longer need. And I've now ended up stripping half the dashboard out to get rid of the wiring that's no longer required. So yeah, I've got it all though, so let's put it all back together. So it was a bit of a race to the finish there because it started to rain, and the joys of working outside in the great British weather. But yeah, we got it done. It's all back together now, and this is all the bits that we've removed. Not too bad. It looks a lot worse than what it actually is. So a lot of it is just stereo stuff. So I had this big mirror on it, which I assume has like a reversing camera or a screen or something in it. There's a bunch of wiring that went to that. There was then this device here stuck to the side of the dash, which I assume, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Japanese car enthusiasts, but I believe this is a card machine for toll roads, because there was also this sensor here which went up by that mirror. So yeah, I assume it's like a toll card. Basically you top up and go through and it takes the money off of there. And then yeah, obviously had a JVC radio in it at some point, and then the flare mount, which we obviously don't need anymore. So yeah, nothing too major, just tidying up a bit as much as I can. I've got a bit of an update on the registration. So I've been away on a family holiday for about a week, come home, find a letter from the DVLA, all excited, open it up, and it's been rejected. What a fail. Yeah. There we go, letter of rejection. Reason being that apparently I didn't include enough money for the tax, which I used their calculator online, their tables, to work out what tax I was meant to send, but I worked out as £184.25 for 6 months, and apparently I need to pay £189.75. So instead of, you know, just asking for the extra to make it up, you've got to reapply. So I've now got to resend it back with the correct amount, and I'm also going to change the date that it is first registered, because I'm now 20th of February. So by the time we get it, I might as well have my tax run from 1st of March rather than 1st of February to get a bit more out of it. But yeah, so I'm just going to redo this form. I'm going to change the tax amount there, the date that it's first registered, send it back. They've not complained about anything else, so fingers crossed, that's all we need to get it back. But this did only take 2 weeks, so hopefully we'll get it back pretty quick. One of the jobs we're going to be doing is trying to fit this Chinese double din radio that I've got. Cheap and cheerful, just to get us going. It's got no stereo in it, so it's got a hole for a double din, but it's more complicated than it looks. And then the other thing we're going to be sorting out is the back end of this Lupo. It's not really to my styling. I don't know whose it is, but someone obviously loved it. Basically, it's had a wiper delete there, which is pretty obvious, so we're going to sort that out. And this Lupo lettering, yeah, let's get rid of that and clean it right up. First thing we're going to sort out is this wiper delete. 2 ways we go around it is we could put a wiper back on, but one, it's more expensive, and two, I quite like no rear wiper. I hate putting it on and leaving a clean mark on a dirty windscreen. I'd rather it just all be dirty. Or two is a better wiper delete kit, which I've got from Kill All Wipers. I've got one on my van, looks absolutely perfect. So yeah, let's tackle it. First thing we need to do is take this inner door card off. It'll be a simple case of 2 Torx screws up in here, T20s, and then pulling it off the trim clips. We all know how that went with the speedo housing, so yeah, let's see how we get on. Ta-da! As you can see, they have actually removed the whole wiper motor. There's the plug, and there's the feed for the washer. I'm going to check that that's been capped off at the pump, because I don't want to be accidentally spraying water in the boot. And then here's the wiper delete, some little homemade jobby. Yeah, let's get rid of that. That O-ring wasn't doing much. Good job of changing this out. It's quite a beefy piece, to be fair. So the bit that you see, and then they've obviously trimmed this down to fit on the Lupo. The window a bit of a clean up. Now, I haven't actually opened this kit up since getting it, but from memory the one for the van was real simple, really nice bit of kit. It's only about £20, so it's actually a bargain. Yeah, that comes in a nice little kit like that. What else have we got in here? Invoice, little sticker. Probably not going to put it on the car, but it's good for the toolbox. Right, so look in the kit. cable ties, I think that's for the wiring. So we've got the glue to bond it in, and then what we've got is, let's get it open, it's this little piece of plastic which fits within the window. Yeah, so if you can see that, it's got like a ridge, so you glue it on the inside and then it should be the same thickness as the glass and it looks nice and smooth. All you can see is like a little line around it. So yeah, let's go glue it on and you'll get a bit of a better idea of what it looks like. Now, there's no instructions in the packet, but there is a QR code that you can scan, but it's pretty simple. I mean, you just got to use the window sealant to glue it in place. The only thing I'm going to play around with now is, if you can see, it's really hard up against the original window sealant there, which pushes it hard up in the hole. So I'm going to sand a little flat on that, which sit in there so it's not being pushed up the whole time. Glue it on, we'll put some tape on it, and we'll let the glue go on. Yeah, nice little flat on the bottom of it. Just fits in there a little bit nicer. And we can get it central in the hole. So let's get the sealant on it. You really don't need much of this at all because it goes everywhere and sticks to everything. Remember now, actually in the instructions they say to use the rest of the sealant to actually just glue over the end of the washer pipe to stop it from leaking. So I'll probably do that, but I'm going to have a proper look at it as well. Because why not? Also, wear gloves, that stuff doesn't come off. Go. Let's put some tape on that bad boy. All taped up and secure where I want it. Nice and simple. And yeah, there it is. Obviously we'll take the sticker off once it's all dry. Time to let that go off. And then we've got a nice, it should look like a nice clean back end compared to that big silver aluminium piece. I'm going to leave that cover off for now while the tape goes off as well. Not tape. I'm going to leave that cover off while glue goes off as well. Now, I have debadged a lot of cars over the years because, you know, simple mod to make them nice and clean. But I've never used this method before. So, got heat gun to warm the letters and the glue up, and then normally I'd use like a credit card or something, but I have scratched paint doing that, so I'm going to use dental floss. I've seen other people say about it, so let's give it a whirl and let's hope these haven't been on here so long that the paint's a different colour underneath. But I mean, this isn't the factory position for them, so I'm hoping they haven't been on here for very long. Ooh. I mean, I guess I'd rather that broke than the paintwork. I mean, it works, but I've still got to get all of this off. Let's try the rest. So, I said this radio, I had some problems. Two main problems with this radio. First of all is you get a wiring plug, wherever I put that, there. Just goes into the back of the radio, all lovely. No plugs on the end of it. I mean, everything pretty much, of this era uses ISO plugs. But never mind. So I've bought some generic ISO plugs which I need to wire up. So that's job number one we've got to do. Job number two is so you can buy a double DIN adapter for the Lupo, and like you can for my Transporter. But this radio doesn't seem to conform to normal double DIN sizes, so it doesn't work, and I'll show you why. So yeah, here is the generic bought double DIN adapter like I've got in my van. This is actually the second adapter I bought. The first one also didn't work, and I thought maybe it was just cheap, so I got another one. But no, turns out this radio just doesn't fit into it at all. Not the right size. You can get it into there, but then it doesn't go any further. Yeah, not going to work at all. And this doesn't just fit in the Lupo like you'd hope, which I'll show you. So then I wasn't quite sure what to do, and then I thought, I know, I've got a 3D printer. Let's draw something up and we'll make our own one. So here we are. I've drawn this up myself, 3D printed it, and if by magic we've got one. There we go. Yeah, so pretty handy, very handy bit of kit actually, that I'm sort of getting more into the habit of using. And yeah, look, it's nice and tight. So yeah, that fits in there. Now I might make a couple of revisions to this, as in it might try and make that sit flush. But yeah, let's go try it in the car so you can see what it looks like. Look at that, minter. So yeah, the couple of revisions I might make is, one, make the screen so it fits flush with the adapter, and then the second one is bring the adapter out probably another millimetre or so to be flush with the dash. But yeah, happy with that. Absolute lifesaver. I don't know what we did without this technology, but yeah, let's solder the radio all up anyway and see if we can get it to work before we mess around that adapter too much. Luckily this wiring's fairly simple. Most of the colours just correspond over, so I don't need to use the backup one because I'm not putting a reverse camera on it. So these colours all just match up to the first plug. Don't need these three because they'd be for steering wheel controls, which we don't have. And then the other plug is for the speakers, which all match up with the colours on this lot for the speakers. So a couple of wires I can get rid of, backup wire, 2 steering wheel control wires out of there, get rid of those 3, and then yeah, we'll just solder them all up. The only thing that I'm going to leave unsoldered and I'll test first is the yellow and the red wires, because on Volkswagens they're normally backwards compared to other cars, so I'll twisty them first, check them, and then solder them the correct way around, rather than just copying the colours and then having to switch them. There we go then. So I've reduced the length quite a bit because you don't want wires everywhere behind there. So yeah, let's go try it out. There is loads of other functions we can put on with this, like loads of RCA outlets. Not going to use any of them. It has got its own GPS antenna. Probably not going to use that because I'll probably just mirror my phone to it. And it has got a couple of USB output points, which I might actually put in because they're quite useful for charging your phone, and I might do something similar to what I did in the Transporter, which check out in this video here. Yeah, because that's quite nice, but we will see. For now, I'm just going to get in, see if it works. Alright, this isn't easy one-handed. There we go. I have already it lives, as you can tell. I'd already tried it and it works. So, and it's working on the memory, so perfect. We have exciting news. We have heard from the DVSA on our Japanese imported Lupo. So guess what? That's right, we now have a UK registration plate for the old girl. So yeah, after all this time, work and effort, she's finally legal for the UK roads, and we can take it out and see what we've actually got ourselves instead of just dreaming what we think it's going to be like. I can't wait. So yeah, that's right. All I needed was to redo the check for the extra £5 the DVSA wanted for the tax. Everything else was all in place and all was fine. And then 2 weeks later, I got the number back. Why they can't just contact you and you pay the extra that you owe, or there'd be like more of an online service, I don't know. Maybe they just like making it difficult. But we're there, we've made it. We can finally start taking it out. But for that, you're gonna have to wait till the next episode. I'm gonna call that it on this video, and then the next video will be us hooning around in the little Lupo, giving my opinion of it, how I feel about it, and yeah, the conclusion to this series, I'd imagine. But yeah, hopefully you've liked and enjoyed this series so far. If you have, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.